Real Madrid come away with a huge, important 3-0 win against Athletic Bilbao. And, these past few games, these last three matches for Real Madrid in La Liga, especially back-to-back draws, people were doubting Xabi Alonso. People, there was a whole breakthrough of the connection with the manager and the players. And, all the news that was coming out regarding to that. So it's important for Real Madrid to get a big victory, especially before a huge match against Manchester City. I think Madrid they do also play in the weekend, but next game after that is Manchester City. So you need the best results. You need the best players playing. You need, the right rhythm to go back to normal, because against City, it's, maybe Madrid will still, they're in good chances to qualify for the top 8. They're probably 100% going to qualify through the knockout stages. But, the way Manchester City is, for me, is like similar to Madrid. They have huge games and then they have poor games. But I do think City at the moment are better, especially even with their defeat that they I forgot who they lost to the other day. And just narrowly beating, what was it, Fulham? So it's huge for Real Madrid to get a big result like this. I think Madrid played good. Benching Arda, it's gonna be a whole debacle of, Arda's making the team worse, this and that. I don't think so. I just think that Bellingham and Arda can't play well together at the same time. I think there needs to be, one bench, one. So if you put in Arda the same thing or the same way as you put Bellingham, I think it would have been the same. That is just, it's important to have two key important players. But I think Bellingham had a good game. There were a few ifs, but Madrid are not even, they're not perfect as a whole. So of course it's gonna be situation where is that Fede played on the right side. Vini, he was getting chanted terribly from the fans. Sure they said some Vogel stuff, but Vini he did right. He had a few chances in goal, couldn't really quite make that into one. And then you have Mbappe, who just looked incredible. Two absolute screamers. And then assist to Camavinga, and Camavinga starting to smash. You don't usually see Arda playing instead of Camavinga, but now he's bringing him a more of a central midfielder. You want to say Arda, you can see he's a 10. For me, he can play in the midfield, just depending on if Bellingham starts as well. So it's just scenarios like that. Trent, I think he's getting back to slowly getting to the rhythm of things. He did get hurt. He was subbed out. He got an assist. I'm trying to remember which assist was it. But you can tell his crossing's on point. You can tell he's really capable of getting the ball in. So Trent's it's just defending. I think Bilbao's most chances were from that side, which they nearly scored twice. I think it was in the first half, towards the end of the match, or towards the end of the first half. And two huge saves from Courtois, which kept Madrid not losing, obviously. But and you have Militao and Rodrygo, the two vets in the team playing in center back. You have Carreras, who I think played really well as well. For Bilbao, Nico was off. He probably had one good cross this whole match. He did not look like, as people say, the player that he's capable of. He's 100% capable of being a top winger, but today was just not his day, especially against the Real Madrid. You need to try to perform well, and just the situations he was put through, he just couldn't really do anything with that. Unai Simon, Spain's number 1, is he still after these past couple matches? You let 4 in against Barca. You let 4 in. Was it PSG? I don't remember the Champions League, but Spain has other choices in the goalkeeper. You have David Raya, Joan Garcia, even Robert Sanchez from Chelsea. You have loads of. The one thing with Spain, you have great backup options. One player's hurt, one player's underperforming. You have Araya, Garcia, Sanchez. I'm trying to think of who else, but there's pretty much that. And then substitution Real Madrid made. I'm happy to see Rodrygo and Gonzalo get minutes. There's something quite late in the game, 10 minutes before the full. Pretty much when the whole game is just on, like, not freeze, just like the momentum's not there anymore. Madrid 3-0 up. Bilbao took off their best players. Madrid took out their best players. So it was just, giving players minutes. Raul Asensio went in for Trent, who just got hurt, so they moved Fed in the right back, and then eventually I thought they made another substitution. Never mind. And then Arda went in for Camavinga, who just got hurt. Brahim Diaz got some minutes with Gonzalo and Rodrygo, who hasn't scored in around 30 games now. It's a shame to see Rodrygo. He's such a good player. He's capable of being one. Just in a terrible scenario. In this, and he needs to leave. Not because I don't want him here. It's just because I know what he's capable of. I said that if he was in that Bayern spot instead of Luis Diaz, he would be excelling right now. Not saying Luis Diaz playing bad, but Rodrygo is just that capable of. I said of Real Madrid and Arsenal, a Chelsea, not Chelsea, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Real Madrid, and Arsenal, Liverpool, or Bayern. I said with those three options, he should have, if they were going in, they should have joined. Franco and Hendricks, Franco's back from injury, still hasn't played yet. Hendrick hasn't played since that Champions League game, I'm pretty sure. Or was it La Liga? But he's only played the one game this season. It was like, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Frank Garcia, who's been giving chances, same with Mendy. None of them play. I think yesterday he was announced that he was going to be hurt until 2026. And I mean, that's pretty much with the substitutions with Real Madrid and the players coming in. I think Madrid looked better, especially, against Elche, against Rayo, against Girona. Madrid just looked sloppy. They looked lazy. But this game, they looked content. They looked like a team that wanted to get a goal, that was willing, they're still not perfect. I think some scenarios where there's no one in the box, and I say all the time, you need a true 9 to be in there. But Mbappe screamers made up for it. You're playing pretty much with the whole left side playing towards that area. Fede, who just loves to walk. That's one thing with Fede. He doesn't really. It's not his job to. Nonetheless, it's not really his job to do that. But, only if Mbappe was playing more on the right-hand side, which he's not. He's not going to play more on the right-hand side of the pitch. It's going to be Vini's going to be right here. Mbappe's going to be right here. Or in this scenario. Vini's going to be here. Carrera's going to be here. Mbappe's going to be here. Bellingham's going to be here. Fede's going to be right here. That's how it is. No one's going to be in this area. So when Carreras or Vini or whoever is going to make a cross, there's no one here. Mbappe, will he make a run? Maybe. It's just he plays outside the box. So he's not like already in here waiting for the cross or waiting for something to come through. But he's Mbappe's a player to create something and then score just 2 bangers from there. But that's with Real Madrid not having a proper 9. Gonzalo got a few minutes, good for him. I don't think he touched the ball once. Like dribbled the ball. I think he took the ball out of someone's feet, but besides that, I don't think he's even touched it. So, but this huge, really important win. Madrid's still in second La Liga. This game didn't really change anything regarding to the league table. Still point down. Barca's next game is against Betis, a strong team, who's fighting for a Champions League spot this season, which are 100% capable of. I think they're going to be in the top 4 instead of Villarreal towards the end of the season, even though Villarreal are in a 5-game win streak, and the next game is against Getafe. So, these Espanols getting high in the table. Getafe, Raul's still in contention for up there. They qualified for Europe last season. They looked great. Celta Vigo has always been up and down team. Sevilla has been Sevilla, and then Valencia. We don't even talk about Valencia. But yeah, Barca 5 games in a row. Huge for them. Madrid 3 draws. That's really affected if they didn't draw those matches, then they're 100% capable. They 100% could have won. These games here against the Real, they look terrible. I don't even think they deserved the win. Here they were terrible as well, but they 100% could have won that match. And then Girona is just, I think it's a substitution issue regarding that match, and they just didn't. They looked lazy. So there's a good bounce up. Next game is against Celta Vigo. What is it? It's on a Sunday. And the next game, Manchester City. This is the game everyone's going to watch regarding whoever's team is playing. This is a huge game. It's been a staple in the Champions League for years now. And then, Madrid have Betis and Atletico. So a few tough matches for Real Madrid, but out of this list, they should have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd say you have to be Atletico after that Barca game, even though it's like a month away. It's just Atletico are just a team that they can win 39 games in a row and then just beat Madrid and just crumble against Barca. There's just type of that. So Madrid need to get their get back, especially that 5-2 defeat. But that's in a month away, so we don't even talk about that. Celta. Um, yeah, I think you have to give it a all. Really, before Manchester City, people were thinking, "Oh, look, you tied 3 games in a row. You almost drew. You let 3 goals in against Olympiacos. I think you need to play your players and show Manchester City that you are Real Madrid. Because of City here, they lost against Leverkusen 2-0, lost against Newcastle, almost lost against Leeds, and almost lost against Fulham. So it's for me it's the same stint as you have Mbappe doing amazing for Real Madrid, Holland doing amazing for City. But then as a whole, I mean the difference is they're both second place, they're both losing games, they're both tying games. It's just that they're similar. So it's gonna be a really good match to see. Let's see what will happen.